Welcome back to Father Figures. I have just raided the office. This is an office raid for two boring old men. So,
Cheers.
Mick Sullivan, thanks for coming.
This is rare for us to be in the same room.
It is rare.
We're doing
So I thought, we're at your workplace. We're in the cafe. Robbie Williams is blasting in the background, but we have coffee and this smell of each other's musk. This week's episode, I'm excited actually, because both of you and I have a passion for people that lead in community really well.
Yep.
You actually live it out. You're a CFA captain. You are the head of pretty much every, I don't know, you're head of the school committee by now?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I think you unofficially.
Send me an email at some point.
Show up at the meeting, sign the document. But yeah, my children play basketball. All my boys play basketball, or have done on and off. And they even sucked me into, did I tell you they sucked me into coaching?
Coaching basketball. Nice.
So what I do, folks, just for all the dads out there that are wondering, should you say yes to volunteering as a coach when you know nothing about, the strategy of the sport or how to coach, I just use my gift. So my team is the most pastorally cared for.
Caffeinated.
Caffeinated. They get lollies at the end and they get a smile and an encouraging word.
Excellent.
I've got that gift of exhortation.
I love it.
But not really a defensive strategy. I don't have that.
Haven't won a game yet.
Haven't won a game yet.
Matter.
Yeah, the under-10s this year, 5 minutes of championship basketball, they were amazing.
Unreal.
And the rest of it was just them going, why don't they pass the ball more?
But this week's episode is linked to basketball.
It is. Paul Bugg. So Paul Bugg is the president of the Sharks Basketball Club in Geelong, Victoria, Australia. Community leader, amazing disability advocate, amazing care factor. Just one of those guys that when we came into the club, and that was my experience, we came into it for a come and try day. I think we came in and half an hour later, somehow we were all signed up and the kids were allocated teams.
That's so good.
Yeah, and I just think they represent, and I'm sure we all have those people in our community that we just respect the heck out of, and I just wanted to get his story.
That's great. I'm excited for this episode. I haven't heard it yet, folks, so I'll be listening to it same time that you are.
Yeah.
Once it gets released.
Well, just to prove that he never listens to a word I say.
Did you say that?
No, I don't know.
No.
Here's the episode. Justin Michael on Father Figures. I am excited today because I'm about to talk to a guy who hassles me a lot. And he hassles me a lot because my children play in his basketball club. And those of you who know me will know that administration is not my key gift and he holds me accountable. Paul Bugg, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, Justin.
So you have some questions for me. How many forms do I still need to fill in?
Yeah, probably. I think you've got 3 that you still need to register and you're still hanging on to work out whether the 4th one is going to play. So,
but I did cave this year. I coached for you.
Yeah, you did well.
And no, I didn't. I just did.
No, you did well. You turned up. Like just getting someone to turn up is a win for us.
Absolutely. So I coach in the under-10s. I coach my son Quinn in the under-10s.
Yep.
And coaching in the under-10s for me involves having a list of the players on my phone and making sure they all get the same amount of court time and telling them not to lose the ball in transition. That's it. That's the whole thing. And lolly snakes at the end.
Yep.
Am I doing okay?
You're fine.
Okay. Were you a sporty kid?
Yeah, I played every sport that I could. Well, back in my day, basically there was cricket, football, basketball, tennis. That was it. And even basketball.
I love that you just mentioned 5 sports and said that was it. But I guess I take your point. You're a parent, you're a husband, you're a grandparent, and you have 2 to 3 cats, depending on the day. Mm-hmm. Correct? Yep. So what's your family setup?
Yep. So married to Narelle. We've been married for, 37 years.
Well done, you. I mean, I've got nothing to check that against, but it sounds right.
1988. Was when we got married here in Geelong, in Mercer Street, St Peter's and Paul's Church.
Yeah.
And we have 3 children, Cleo the eldest, Lockie and Andy the youngest.
So, and Cleo's got a couple of kids, though?
Cleo's got 2 boys, Cassidy and Vincent.
And do they live at your house sometimes too?
We have...
Do you get to have that grandfather time and
we
muck
have
around?
Vincent every Tuesday
Ooh.
while my daughter works.
Yeah.
I'm his favourite.
Of course.
He likes me more than he likes Nana, whereas the older one... Cassidy, Nana is his world, and Pa, nah.
Pa, not so much.
No.
So that was my next question. Your official title, because every grandparent, did you get to choose the title, Pa?
Yeah, we self-nominated Pa. My dad was Pa.
Just hand it down.
Yeah, you had Pa Bugg. Now I'm Pa Bugg. My father's no longer with us.
Yeah.
He made it to 95, so he had a good
95, good innings.
He had a good run, which worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm going to live that long, I'm going to run out of money.
Because
and I'm a financial advisor by trade.
So I've come across you because you're the president?
President of Sharks, yeah.
Sharks Basketball Club in Geelong, Victoria, Australia, for all those listening internationally. And the Sharks has how many teams right now?
103 for this current winter season. We're just about to roll into summer.
Yeah.
We're a bit scared we could hit 120.
120 clubs. So that's 120 coaches, 120 assistant coaches, sets of all the insurances, all of the stuff. Like, do you ever get overwhelmed by that?
Yes. I've got a really great team around me now.
Yeah.
Or not around me, but with me.
It's a volunteer position.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
How much time would you spend in a week?
Too many. Too much.
Keep you up at night a bit?
No, a little bit, yeah. Good. iPads are the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
You just have to sit down at the desktop to do stuff. Now the iPad, I can sit there watching a bit of TV.
Yeah.
Andy's there, my son.
Yeah.
He's watching TV.
Yeah.
Noelle's usually in bed, and I'm doing stuff on the iPad, and it's still sort of connecting with the family to a degree.
Look at that. No, absolutely.
To a degree.
Look,
rather than being in another room.
Yeah.
Where, you'd have to do that stuff. So the biggest issue is the junior teams. So we had 71 junior teams and the rest were senior teams. Senior teams tend to look after themselves.
Right. They just go,
pretty much. We have a couple of teams where we have coaches. So our champ men and champ women, we have coaches for.
Yeah.
But most of the senior teams, they just run themselves.
Yeah.
So it's the junior teams. So 71 coaches, 71 assistant coaches, 71 team managers. If we go to 80 odd, those numbers multiply.
Well, I mean, if you need a hug, you have to sign a waiver first, but I can provide hugs. So you've been involved in this for how long did you say? Yeah,
I reckon with Sharks probably 16, 17 years.
Yeah.
Been president for 13. So 2012 was when I took over the presidency.
And are you a natural leader? Did you mean to do that? Have you been the boss of your workplaces and things like that?
I've certainly managed teams of up to 50 people in the past.
Yeah.
I was school council president at Mandama Primary School. I was school council president
so
of...
there's a pretty natural...
Oberon High School.
Yeah.
I like to get in and get involved and get
Where does that come from?
things
Is
done.
that your old man was like that? Or?
No, he wasn't. I can't recall anyone that actually did.
Yeah.
So it was, I don't know, was it just natural that I like to take charge and do stuff?
Yeah.
And get stuff done?
I always talk to people about notice what you notice. So what you appear to notice is gaps. And I think part of what I've observed about you is you'll make things happen for your kids.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're like, my kid needs a thing, needs an opportunity, or this school needs an opportunity, the presidency of the school and whatever. And so maybe that's a better question. Who modelled the serving the community part?
Yeah, so I suppose one of the drivers was having a child with a disability.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and understanding that in the education system there were gaps.
Right,
You could use a good term there. And so, I wanted to make sure that the school my child was at was going to be able to cater to his needs. So initially I just got on school council. Yeah. And then after being on there and showing people that I had the opinion to think critically, to make opinions, to try and get things moving, they all said, you should be president.
What's the distance between an angry parent and an active parent? Because I suspect there are lots of parents listening that think, man, my kid is getting shortchanged and I'm upset about that. And the system doesn't work for my child. You're a person that saw it and said, the system doesn't work for my child. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to ruffle a few feathers or whatever. Yeah,
it was just being able to understand why there were gaps in the system. So getting into school council, getting to know the principals was really important for me because then I could obviously help to it helped me understand where the issues were, but then it gave me the ability to have some influence around, hey, I think you need to look at this.
Yeah.
I think you need to have, do this. For example, just one example that really drove us crazy. My wife was a real driver of this too. Andy, when he was young at primary school, was a absconder.
Yeah.
Right? If the gate was open, he was gone.
Yeah. So just before we get there, his disability?
He has Down syndrome.
Yep. Cool. That gives you a sense of.
And so
what does Down syndrome affect as far as when you say an absconder and whatever?
He just used to like to wander.
Yeah.
Like he was a runner.
Yeah.
So if a gate was open, he was out the gate.
Yeah. So he's at school.
Yeah.
He's an absconder.
Yeah. So we argued that we needed to have proper fencing.
Which seems so silly when you say it out loud. Proper fencing.
Yeah, there were gaps in the fence.
Gaps.
And
There's
he
the
would
gap.
find that gap and he would get out. If he didn't have someone looking at him or having eyes on him the whole time, he would disappear. He got to Torquay Road one time and crossed the road. So anyway, the good thing was we had people in the community that knew him.
Yeah, right.
And they go, I just saw Andy.
That's Narelle and Paul's kid.
He did that a few times. Look, it didn't happen a lot.
No, but it
the
was
school
something.
goes, no, we can't put, that sort of fencing in, blah, 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 blah. Lo and behold, what is it? 10 years down the track, every school has now got pool-type fencing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, it didn't work for us, but obviously it worked for someone down the track.
And potentially you started a conversation.
I hope so, but... maybe someone else did, but...
So how did you feel going in? And again, I know lots of parents that have a child with a disability, and I think for the most part they become advocates in general. And for some, it's that there's a certain fierceness, I would say, to it. And it's love that drives it. But it's like, I'm going to help the world understand. What stops you from getting mad at the world that doesn't understand? And instead just advocating.
Yeah, look, anger doesn't solve any of the problems, though. It only accentuates the problem, really.
Yeah.
You can get angry. Yeah, you can be fuming about something. But I take the same attitude when I'm at work if I get something that upsets me, or if I get, even with the basketball club, you will get people that are just totally unreasonable. They will send you messages, they will send you emails. I never respond immediately.
You're right.
I always sit on it.
Yeah.
Leave it, wait 24 hours, then go back with a clear mind.
Yeah.
Take the emotion out of it. And it's the same with advocating for my child. My wife is a great advocate for that sort of stuff too. She drives a lot of that. I just tend to be sort of upfront more so. But, again, it's just nothing is solved through anger. It takes a clear head.
Did you learn that as a young man? Did you try? Because I presume you've got a bit of fire about you.
Only on the basketball court.
Yeah.
No, even then, nowadays, look.
But you're a big softie, is what you're telling me. Yeah.
No, I'm just there to have fun and to run up and down a little bit.
So, yeah, exactly. We're getting older a little bit. My son asked me to join a social team with him. And I said, as long as you get 10 players and there's plenty on the bench. But for you again, let's quickly jump into you and your wife. Usually couples are equal opposite.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. She's quieter.
She's quieter, but she gets it done in the background.
Oh yeah.
And you're the mouthpiece of the family sort of
quite
thing.
often, yeah.
Yeah. You become an advocate. Before you had Andy, was it the same? Did it change? Did you feel something in you click when you're
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It changes you significantly.
Because it changes the family makeup as well, right? Yeah. How the older siblings respond and all that sort of thing. And it's coloured your world. So one of the things I noticed in joining the Sharks Basketball Club is I walked in one day and my kids were just getting old enough to sort of join in with and we'd had twins and we'd been in the fog for a long time. And someone said, you should go down and try, because basketball was my sport growing up. I hate contact sports. I don't understand why people would bash into each other all the time. I'm not competitive enough in general. I actually get anxious. Even coaching under 10s, I get a bit anxious because I'm like, people are taking this way too seriously.
Well, that's
but someone said, go down and there was a tryout day, I reckon. And I think I walked in and my kids immediately were handed a basketball, welcomed onto a court, they played, and I laugh about the story because my version of the story is I walked in to see what it was like and walked out with my kids all having signed up to join clubs. And I think you had my credit card details at that point too.
We've got some great people in the club that are very good at not letting you get out the door without a uniform and having signed up for a team. Yeah,
absolutely. So you've got 3 children, you're growing them up, you love sport, you love community connection, you and your wife are advocates, and he's a kid with Down syndrome, which makes his learning journey and his connection to community a different journey. And you're trying to understand that, because every parent has to learn while their child is teaching them. And you start to advocate for an all abilities league or team, or because Sharks has an all abilities team and two all abilities teams.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how did we get there?
Well, technically 3. So it goes back to Andy. We'd been wanting to try to get him to play basketball, and he sort of didn't have an interest. He used to love coming along to watch. And anyway, there was a boy that he went to school with. Braden was his name, that Andy just absolutely idolised. He was playing for Sharks. And then one day Andy comes home and he goes, I want to play in Brandon's team.
Right.
Gone, okay, this could work. Let's try that. So Andy, we got him a uniform, got him, into number 1 he wears.
I love it.
And he started playing. And at first it was a little bit difficult because he was playing mainstream under 18s, and some of the boys hadn't had that experience before, and he'd get the ball stolen off him, and he'd get angry, and his teammates would get angry because you're disrespecting Andy, and, and it was a learning experience for everybody. So sort of Andy came into the sort of a team structure. The other teams got to know him, and then just played differently when Andy had the ball, which was great.
Yeah.
And then off the back of that, other people saw what we'd done and said, can such and such join?
Yeah.
Can such and such join? And it started to snowball to the point where I had a whole team of special needs, all abilities players. And I've gone, okay, where do we go with this? There's nowhere for them to go. So I actually started them playing in the under 23 comp.
Okay.
And what I found about that age group is that group of young men are mature enough, they understand, they get it, and they're respectful.
Yeah.
I would never play that group now, all the players in that team are over 23 now. Right? Andy's nearly 30, he's playing under 23.
Yeah.
But the players in that group are fantastic, the way they approach our team.
Yeah.
I would never play them in a men's competition because there are too many a-holes out there in the men's comp that wouldn't have that respect, and there'd be issues every week.
Yeah.
The under 23 comp, and the association really supports us in that too. Is just ideal for these guys. Now I've got a full team now of 8 or 9 players that play in under 23 mainstream comp, but then we've got on a Friday night now a competition where we've got all abilities teams. There's 11 teams at the moment across various clubs. We've obviously got 2. There's, I think, at least 2 more teams coming in next season. So we're going to have 13, 14 teams in an all abilities competition. Which is just awesome.
And so they're playing weekly. They're doing training sessions on a weekend. Is that right? Or they're doing a training session and a game each week?
Yeah, usually just a game. Most of these. Look, a lot of them are in supported accommodation. Organising support workers on weekends is very expensive.
Yes.
Travel, does their funding cover it? So we really just focus on the games and we learn in game.
But again, that's something that you bring that knowledge to the table. So you can actually essentially not like the expectation is measured.
Yes.
So you're not asking the person. And then do you do a end of season barbecue and that sort of gear as well?
Yes, I've got one player that reminds me every season we need to go out for dinner and we need to go to the Warren Ponds Hotel and he's going to have a beer. So yes.
And it's your show.
They hold me to account for that. So usually we'll try and organise a dinner, go out and just have a meal together.
Yeah. And I think, again, you can't do what you can't see is the old adage, you've basically allowed Andy, because it's kind of dangerous. You don't know what the community response or what the under-23s response was going to be early on, and you don't know if they're going to get respect. You don't know if people are going to get mad with you for your expectation of inclusion, et cetera, et cetera. But your family has sort of led the way, and, you know, a decade later or more or whatever, you're talking about multiple teams now.
Yeah.
And also understanding not only the needs of the person with a disability, but also the infrastructure around that person to get them to the game and all of those kinds of things. I think congratulations are in order, mate.
No, well, thank you. I don't think I can take full responsibility for the new All Abilities competition, because there are a lot of people involved with that. I was certainly a very strong advocate for it for a long time. Yeah. But, you know, as you know, working full time with a family, I didn't have the time to really be able to put into setting that up. And fortunately, there was a local community group that did that. So Leisure Networks sort of got the ball rolling on that with Geelong United, and it's just snowballed from there, and it's been terrific.
But everything needs a starting point.
Oh, yeah,
and absolutely. I got the starting point. Yeah. So All Abilities League, fierce community advocate. Sport is a great language that everyone can, you know, and round ball sports particularly. Anyone can kick a soccer ball, anyone can bounce a basketball, sort of thing. Yep. I love round ball sports. And that's been, you know, that seems to have just grown out of an advocacy place, and you're a get-it-done guy, and you're a manager, and you must have a great strategy brain to keep all those lines of code sort of kind of running. But now your kids, who are all grown up and, you know, a big brother and a big sister, they're now working in similar spaces. Is that right? Yeah.
So Lockie works for a local organisation called Buddy Up. Prior to that, he was with Scope, which is another Geelong-based organisation. So Lockie's been in that field for, I don't know how many years now. And my daughter Cleo, she was in disability work, doing bits and pieces. She's had 2 children, so there's been breaks around that. She's also was a chef for a time being in hospitality, had done that for a while, and hospo can be a difficult place.
To that.
So now she's working for it's an OT business that has a number of clients with special needs, and so she is like the therapy assistant. So the OT will go and drew up the plan, and then Cleo will go out and help implement that with the people either in their home or in a gym space or whatever it is. So she's doing that sort of, which is in that sort of related disability field as well.
Amazing. So I know you at a distance, and I've been the beneficiary of your administrative genius and your encouragement as well. You know, it's a very encouraging club, the Sharks. I think the culture is incredible. Not every sporting club has that. And I think it comes from that core group of people that are very inclusive, I think very genuinely loving people, as far as I can tell.
I would say that would be 100% correct.
And I think birds of a feather, right? You end up attracting people that you connect with on a values kind of level. So what's are you the kind of person that goes, my big dream is that, or is it just step by step?
Yeah, no, look, my big dream is to retire soon.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Narelle keeps saying tomorrow. I keep saying, well, no, not yet, not ready.
Well, how old are you now?
I'm 62.
Nah, come on. Dad went to 95. Right. So just work for another 20 years, mate, you'll be fine. Plus, I still need that financial advice from you, and it hasn't worked out yet.
Yeah, so, but nah, look, I don't have a big picture. I think when I started with the club, I've been about 35 teams. I thought, it'd be really good if we could, get to 50 or 60 teams. Well, we've blown that out of the water. I'm not sure how sustainable it is to keep growing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's another part.
We don't have the court space. We just don't have the ability to get everybody on a court to train effectively. So, maybe we need to just stop being so good and just paring back a little bit, and so people just going to keep saying, we want to come and play Sharks, play Sharks. So anyway, look, I'm not sure where that's going to head down the track, but look, I just take it one season at a time, and let's roll through.
I love it, man, because again, I grew up in sort of leadership conversations where people would say, you got to have a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan. And I'm sure that's the kind of thing you would say in your financial advice. But very different when life just comes at you at the pace it comes at you.
Yeah, we have a strategic plan, the club.
Sure, but as far as your personal approach...
Yeah. But the interesting thing about a strategic plan, there's lots of really nice stuff in there. But it's, as a group of volunteers, trying to implement some of that is really difficult. I think some of the things we have implemented, which are going really well, certainly our girls program has expanded significantly. We're up like 80% on where we were 2 years ago in numbers of girls participating in our club, girls and women. That's just awesome growth. Aussie Hoops, we run an Aussie Hoops program. We're in the top 20 for girl participation in the country for Aussie Hoops. That numbers just came out just today. I got the email.
Wow.
And that was for term 2. Term 3, I think our numbers are even better. We're about 50-50. 50 boys, 50% boys, 50% girls, with 103 participants in Aussie Hoops registered. And that puts us in the top 20 of nationally of participants per group. So, that's where it all starts from, at the absolute grassroots, those 4, 5, 6-year-olds, introducing them to the sport. And within that, there is a sprinkling of kids with special needs, you know, that they might have ASD, they might have, we've got a couple of kids with, poor sight, that we're just... We modify the program to work for them, and we've got great coaches.
But again, that's now written into the code of the DNA. Written into the DNA code of the club.
Yes.
Now, because you've done that from the get-go, and I think again, when I look at who kind of modelled this kind of inclusion for you, maybe you don't. You look back and you think, I don't know if anyone modelled the, community engagement part, but. I guess it's the who was your father figure in that kind of who kind of moulded you, do you reckon, when you look back? Because obviously our parent has a huge part of that.
There's no doubt my parents. My dad was very social. Everyone, he was a member of the Werribee Park Golf Club. He's the life member, the first legend inducted into their golf club. Nobody joined that club without knowing Artie Bugg.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I don't know you. Who are you? I'm Artie Bugg. Welcome.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah.
So I sort of get that side from him.
Yes.
Mum was very more measured.
Yeah.
Very, very compassionate person. So I think, that obviously helps mould you.
Yeah, for sure.
I was the youngest of 4. Mum and Dad had 3 kids close together, and 12 years later they had me. A mistake.
Oh, the miracle. The miracle, we call that.
So certainly, I had older brothers that were like mothers and fathers to me almost.
Yeah. They helped raise you. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting, but I don't know if it's the right term. But you say what moulded me. I reckon 30 years ago, having a son with a disability.
That was the big switch.
It was forced on me.
Yes.
I had to, and I remember when we told my father. Now, he was born in 1920. So when Andy was born in 1995. So he was 75. Is that right? Yeah. He was 75. And we told him I had a son with Down syndrome. He burst out crying because in his day, those kids went to an institution.
Yes.
Right? They weren't seen again. Oh. Right? And this is what his mind is thinking.
Yeah.
Right? And when he realised the loving family Andy had been brought into, which he already knew, but when he realised that, well, he's just going to be the same as the other kids, he was more at ease. But his initial reaction was
fear of rejection.
Absolutely. And I'm sort of going, mate, what are you worried about? Like, seriously?
So
we'll deal with this.
Andy's life changed everybody else's.
Oh, hell, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's
for the better.
Absolutely, and that's the absolute blessing. And, mate, again, I just appreciate all your work in the community. I don't know how you do it, running a business and a big family and all of the things. And, again, this is my official apology for being the jerk dad that doesn't reply to emails properly. But, mate, thanks so much for being part of Father Figures with us.
Pleasure. Great to talk to you, Justin.
So that was my mate Paul Bugg, an amazing guy, as you've heard. And as a special treat, I said to him, Because during the interview, his son Andy actually arrived home from the program called Buddy Up that he spoke about in the conversation. And he'd just been out and spent some time at the Buddy Up program with his brother, actually, who is part of the Buddy Up program himself. It was just too perfect. And I said to Andy, I said, mate, would you mind? And I said to his dad, Paul, would you mind if we did a little quick interview with you guys as well? So as a special treat, if you've listened this far, this is going to be fun. So this is a little chat that I got to have with Paul and Andy Bugg. Check it out.
My name's Paul Bugg. This is my son, Andy.
Yeah.
Andy's just got home from a big day at his program called Buddy Up, which is a local program. How was today?
Yeah, good.
Good. And what'd you do for lunch?
We had rolls,
You had rolls. What'd you have on them?
a ham,
Ham, yeah. Would have had carrot,
a carrot,
cheese,
a cheese.
yeah. Did you have any of Mum's pickles?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Sharks versus Sharks. Mako Sharks versus the Bull Sharks. And who's going to win?
And Mako's.
Mako's. Good work. What do you like to shoot? Do you like to shoot free throws, layups, three-pointers?
Maybe if you 2 points.
2-pointers. Okay, yeah, easy. Take the easy two every time. And you play defence?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, that's good. Who's your favourite, mum or dad?
Maybe Noel.
Narelle, mum, yeah. Good on ya. That's because I yell at him on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Paul and Andy Bugg, wasn't that incredible? I had such fun just chatting, and I could have chatted to those guys for many, many hours, but solid citizens, people that believe in community service, people that believe in making a tide that raises all the boats, you know, that kind of influence, that kind of impact. And how could you not be inspired to just do a little better as a dad when you listen to someone like Paul? We've talked all the way through this season about, you know, the only constant in our lives is change, and managing change is one of those things that, you know, you could do 1,000 courses on it, but the problem with change is you don't quite know what change is ever going to look like. So what I hope that you've been able to hear in some of the conversations we've been having so far this season is what's constant in constant people. People that are constant, people that are solid, or at least, you know, have that anchored sense to them. What is it that helps them do that? Because that's really the question most of us are trying to answer. When I feel wobbly, when I feel like the waves of life are coming at me and I don't have an anchor point, that's when I'm at my weakest. That's when I'm at my most vulnerable. That's when I'm going to do the dumb thing. That's when I'm going to try and, salve that wound with something that's probably more to my addictive side, more to my darker side. And so I always love talking to people about what is their anchor. For me, you've heard me say it 1,000 times, Christ is my anchor, this hope that does not disappoint, this hope is an anchor for my soul. And I know that sounds a little bit, you know, esoteric at times, it's just kind of out there, but I've found that my faith practice and seeing it handed on down through the generations has been the constant that creates rhythm in my life. And the scripture actually talks about standing in the rhythms of God's grace. So that'd be my prayer for everyone listening today, that you would find at least a little more of that rhythm of grace in your life this week. God bless you. Thanks for being a part of Father Figures.